So guys, we got to see sandbox changes, time to kill numbers, values of different archetypes that are doing damage in Crucible, and from those numbers, we were able to draw conclusions on what weapons look to be the nastiest at the end of this month. Now, these are guns that you do not need to buy Forsaken to obtain. These are weapons that some of you probably already have thrown in your vault, and guns that I believe are going to be the most lethal in the new sandbox. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. The first weapon I want to bring your attention to, guys, is Relentless. This is a high impact frame pulse rifle from Trials of the Nine. It's got great perks on it, guys. Things like Snapshot, Head Seeker, and of course it's this high impact variant, which means it's going to have the potential, or at least what we suspect have the potential to 2-burst. But even if you can't get the perfect 2-burst off, the fact that it's got a Head Seeker is going to allow more forgiveness with the weapon by increasing that precision damage after landing body shots. Now, it's up in the air still because we don't know if it's actually going to 2-burst, but understand that adaptive frame pulses, which are 390 round per minute pulse rifles, are able to hit 31 per crit. So I'm speculating somewhere around 33 per crit is what we're going to be able to hit with these 340s, and they may even revert the rounds per minute here to 320 to essentially match what we had back in Destiny 1. If I got any people in here that love things like Spare Change, Parthian Shot, I had a God Roll Parthian Shot back in Destiny 1. Those weapons could easily 2-burst, and I think that's what we're going to be looking at here with these other high impact pulse rifles. Next on the list, guys, is Black Scorpion. Black Scorpion, we saw yesterday these rapid fire pulse rifles hitting at 45 per crit. And the beautiful thing about that, guys, you'll be able to squeeze out a kill from 4 crits, 2 body shots. But Black Scorpion has been my favorite rapid fire scout since the beginning. It comes with Arrowhead Break, which is really good for keeping things vertical. I also like the Rock Mine with steady rounds, and of course, the thing that just makes it all better is Moving Target, the trait that increases movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. Black Scorpion is a busy weapon, man. It hits people much harder than they suspect, and there's a lot of times that you get in dueling moments with enemies, and they're just not expecting you to consistently keep following up with shot after shot. Yet with Moving Target and the nice stability that this weapon boosts, it is so easy to land those crits after crit, and it's my favorite rapid fire scout in the game. Next up, guys, is Old Fashioned. This is an adaptive frame hand cannon. Of course, that means it's 140 rounds per minute. It's got a lot of juicy stuff on here. Essentially, guys, you got kill clip, you got Aztecross rounds, and on top of that, you could go with drop mag if you wanted to get that reload speed even faster. I wouldn't suggest it. I stay on Aztecross round, and I actually have mine masterwork for reload speed to allow me to get that reload faster. Now, the speculation is, could we potentially 2-tap with Old Fashioned in the next sandbox? I don't think we're going to be able to 2-tap with Old Fashioned. I honestly think we're going to hit somewhere around 90 per crit once kill clip is activated. But maybe, just maybe, it might actually do more damage to that. Even if it doesn't 2-tap though, there's a lot of good stuff here that I like with Old Fashioned that's just going to thrive and get better in the next sandbox. Of course, this is like Black Scorpion. Both of these are personal preferences and two weapons I really like. Next up, guys, is the Trials Scout Rifle Motion to Compel. We're already speculating that we're going to be able to eventually 3-tap again with our 150 round per minute scout rifles. What makes Motion to Compel super nasty though is that it comes with kill clip. It also has the trait on it, Moving Target, which is the thing that I love so much on Black Scorpion. But the thing that really makes this weapon shine even more is Drop Mag. Drop Mag just allows you to activate kill clip even faster. Unfortunately, Motion to Compel was a weapon that has sat in my vault now for months. I have not used it, and there was really no desire to use it because 150s are just not in a good spot. But high impact weapons are on the rise. And with these scout rifles potentially being able to 3-tap, Motion to Compel with kill clip might be able to 2-tap enemies. Now, I know it's more or less hopeful thinking. It's very likely that this weapon will not be able to 2-tap in the next sandbox, but you still can't disregard the role that is already on this weapon. I know Trials is not everyone's favorite playlist, but between this and the Relentless Pulse Rifle, they've got some really good rolled weapons that are going to be nasty in the next sandbox. And finally, guys, Redrix's Claymore. Now, I know this is kind of a sore subject for a lot of people because there's a lot of people that won't get this weapon. Redrix, honestly, if I had to compare it to the other high-impact pulse rifles, I would probably still choose things like Legal Action and Relentless over Redrix off of its base performance. But because it has the trait Desperado, that is the only reason why Redrix is even in the ball game. And essentially, Essentially, guys, if you don't know what Desperado is, reloading while Outlaw is active increases your rate of fire. On top of that, this is a high impact frame pulse rifle, and it's going to be doing a hefty amount of damage in the next sandbox. Reg's Claymore could potentially be the biggest monster in Crucible. It's not my favorite weapon right now, but the reason why that is just because, like all of our other high impact archetypes, they're just not in a good spot. But if we are going to get that buff to these high impact pulse rifles, Claymore will probably take advantage of that buff more than any weapon, especially with Desperado. It could potentially become the most dangerous weapon in PvP. So guys, those are the top 5 lethal weapons that are coming up at the end of this month. None of these weapons are being sold with Forsaken. You can achieve them now. I know Claymore is a little bit harder to get. I really wouldn't stress that much, especially given the fact that most of these weapons, especially even Claymore, they don't have the option to add another mod to the weapon. So you won't actually be able to add that third trait. And so a lot of our year 1 weapons will eventually be outclassed by the year 2 versions of them. But during that week, between August 28th and September the 4th, I think these 5 weapons are going to be reigning terror in Crucible. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about these guns, if any of these are some of your favorites. This is not my list for weapons I feel like you should lock in. There's a lot of other guns, and I'll probably do a much bigger countdown for weapons that I would lock in, personal favorites of mine. But these are 5, given what the numbers are in terms of what we saw that look really disgusting in the next sandbox. Of course, more information will probably be released as the weeks come. There's still a lot of wild cards out there for me. Things like SMGs, sidearms, our fast rate of fire pulse rifles. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say a lot of these high impact weapons are going to be looking pretty nasty in the next sandbox. Well guys, thank you all for coming and watching this video, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.